Woof. We hit for 8, lethal next turn. This will also deal damage equal to its power, which is pretty cool. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today is your first Zendikar free-to-play deck. 0 rares, 0 mythics that you don't already have. We do have a few in the deck. Embercleave, you know, this is a mythic included within one of the free-to-play decks. It's a banger. If you have more, obviously include it. And then, of course, a Temple of Triumph as well. We have many more additions to the deck. We could make an upgrade guide. We will talk about some of the upgrades to the deck in the closing thoughts at the very end of the video. If you find any value here, be sure to drop a thumbs up, share it out to a friend as well. It's a great way to help my channel grow, and I appreciate that very much of you. So, as always, we're breaking down the deck list in its entirety. Obviously, this is a free-to-play deck, so we're going to do our best to break it down as in-depth as we possibly can, so you guys have the greatest chance at succeeding with it in the new Zendikar meta. After we break down the deck list, we'll talk about the strategies, the synergies, how do all of those individual cards work together to form a really well-working, coherent archetype, and then we'll talk about the play lines that we watched within today's gameplay footage, breaking down all of the interactions within the new meta and free-to-play Boros Warriors here that we will begin breaking down in a second. But before we do, I am live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. At 7 a.m. we switch to Twitch, and we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Don't do the time conversions if you don't want. Just subscribe, follow, turn your notifications on. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Free-to-play Warriors starts out with 4 copies of Fireblade Charger. This is a 1/1, and it has haste as long as it's equipped, which is actually pretty interesting. And then when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. And now this is the key line of text on this card for me. You know, we had Goblin Arsonist that was really cool, and that did damage when it died. It only dealt 1 damage. This will deal damage equal to its power. Power is 1, so at minimum it will deal 1 damage. We can equip it to deal you know, 3, 4, 5 damage potentially. And then we are also powering our warriors up, but we're going to get into that a little bit later when we talk about the strategies and synergies. I did just want to highlight the fact that when it dies, it will deal damage to any target equal to its power. Into our 2 drops, Relic Axe. This is our equipment spell for the deck other than Embercleave. When Relic Axe enters the battlefield, attached to target creature you control, equipped creature gets +1/+1, and if it's a warrior, it gets +2/+1 instead. The equip cost organically is 2, so if it's in the field, it gets equipped, and then that creature dies, it will still be in the field, but you'll have to pay 2 to re-equip it. You know, it's just great for Warrior Tribal. It's an uncommon, just pushes that aggro damage up a little bit for you. And then again, it could be put on to our Charger. That's a 3-drop, and now for 3 mana we get a 3/2 with haste that when it dies will deal 3 damage to our opponent. So you know, that's not a bad way to start combining these little plays for big results, and that's a typical theme that we like to do within the free-to-play decks, is just get as much value as we can out of some of these cards. Next up, we have Goma Fada Vanguard. This is a 2/2, and whenever Goma Fada Vanguard attacks, target creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the number of warriors you control can't block this turn. You know, we're going wide with warriors. We're going to have 3, 4, 5 warriors on the field. Our opponent will try to play a defender. We can make it so that defender can't block, which is pretty cool. So lots of times they'll be like, oh, I can attack with this many creatures and still have enough to defend. No, 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 you don't. They're not defending anymore. Next up is one of my favorite cards within the deck, and it's an unlikely card to say that about, but Sejiri Shelter. This is an instant speed for 2. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. This protects us from removal. It also protects us if we need to get in a little bit of direct damage. Maybe your opponent's playing a monocolored deck, or all of their permanent creatures that would block have a color in common between them, and then we can give protection and then they won't be able to block us, which is really cool. And then on the opposing side, as it is an MDFC module faced card, Surge Glacier enters the battlefield tapped, and we will be adding 1 white mana source to our pool with that. 4 copies of Seasoned Hallowblade. This is a 3/1. We can discard a card to tap it, giving it indestructible until end of turn. So quite nice. You know, if we have already declared an attack and then they go to block it, or destroy it with something, then it's already in play. The same as if it's defending. So For us, that's good news. If you're playing against Seasoned Hallowblade, you need to be using the removal before the attacks are declared. So it will have to tap and then can't attack, right? So if they do give it indestructible, then it's not attacking that turn, similar to the Dream Trawler, right? So next up, we've got the Kor Blademaster. Now this is actually kind of interesting. And another really small card with a big output potentially when combined with the right cards. It's a warrior, a 1/1 with double strike, so you know that's good. It's going to hit for 2. Equipped warriors you control have double strike. We have the Relic Axe that we talked about that gives +2/+1. So you know we put that on to our Charger. It becomes a 3/2 with haste and double strike. A wolf, you can see just how easily we're going to be getting wins with this free-to-play warriors deck already. Into our 3-drops, Kazuul's Fury and instant speed MDFC. On the one side, we have as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature. Kazuul's Fury deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. You know, that's pretty nice, right? Especially when we do have things like I mentioned, that when it dies, it will deal damage to our opponent equal to its power. So that's decent. It's just a little bit of extra damage. Plus, the great side about this, much like the Shelter, is Kazuul's Cliffs is a land entering the battlefield tapped, adding 1 red to our pool. So, you know, this really helps us if we're flooding or if we're bricking. Either side of that scale, it makes much friendlier. We also have Song-Mad Treachery for 5, another modal face land, again entering the battlefield tapped, adding 1 red mana to our pool. But the sorcery here is gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. A little bit expensive, but again, if you're in the position where you are flooding late game and you grab this, this could win you the game. And then also if you pull it early, it's a land and that's not that bad either. Of course, we already mentioned that we have a single copy of Embercleave, which you all already have. Legendary artifact with flash, costing 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. When you play it, it enters the battlefield and attaches immediately to a creature you control. And then equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. And then if that creature gets removed, Embercleave stays in play and you can re-equip it to a creature for 3. These spells are accompanied by 1 Temple of Triumph, enters tapped, scry 1, 4 mountains, or sorry, 11 mountains, not 4, and 9 plains. Again, these lands are, you know, buffered by our MDFCs that we have in the deck, like the Treachery, like the Shelter, and like Kazuul's Fury. So that's the deck list. Let's begin to break down some of the deck strategies and synergies within free-to-play warriors. First off, I mean, this deck is stronger than it looks. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to play this deck in ranked. I'm going to play it in play queue because I want to push into Mythic and brag about my cool new cards being great. But, you know, we're actually winning games in ranked with this. I won a game in Diamond, or 2, right? Which is kind of nice. So, the Warriors is a decent deck. It revolves primarily around stacking your Warriors and avoiding removal. And again, we're going to have lots of comments, I'm sure, that like, well, I got Shattered the Sky and this deck sucks. Well, you know, that has an option to hit against any aggro deck, and that's just kind of the name of the game. You play a game of numbers, and it's about, you know, if you played 300 matches against the deck that was shattering you and you could beat them 60% of the time before they got the shatter off, then that's a positive equation, right? And that's what we want to go off of. So don't worry about that, right? It's not every deck is perfect, but this is meant to take control when your opponent slips, when your opponent plays too slow, or if they don't hit their drops accordingly. So that's really nice. And my personal strategy for the deck, again, is just you go wide with warriors, right? Play as many warriors as you can, you go wide, you play your Anax, obviously, and then when they die, they become the Satyrs, and then you have the Embercleave, which, again, is a one-of in this deck because you only have 1 copy as a beginner, and then you're basically just hoping for that. If not, you're going in with your Relic Axe on your Charger, and you put a double strike on it as well. And then if they try to block it, we do have the Vanguard, right, to kind of get rid of their blockers, and that's a stackable ability. So if we have 3 of these, there's 3 creatures of theirs that cannot block, which then opens up lanes for the Charger, and then, you know, we get so close, and then we can just use Kazuul's Fury, deal damage equal to its power, and then it itself will deal damage equal to its power. So it basically, with the Fury, deals double whatever its power is to our opponent. It can also be stacked up with the Warleader, right? That 1/1 that deals damage equal to its power goes up by +1/+1 for each Warleader in play. So You know, we're using things like the Relic Axe, give it +2, which is also stackable. We use the Warleaders, which is also stackable. So we're really trying to A, go wide, smash our opponent, but B, push our Charger up in power as much as we possibly can. And that's just going to be like a lot of damage combined with us going wide, you know, direct damage if he ever dies. We're tapping their blockers. And we have some protection from their field wipes through Seasoned Hallowblade. So, you know, you can survive the shatters and keep doing that damage potentially. It will slow you down substantially, but you'll still get there. And again, the Relic Axe makes an amazing equip into our Hallowblade because of the discard ability to give it indestructible. You know, you play your Blademaster, you got your Hallowblade, it becomes a 5/2 with double strike. You're hitting for 10 with your Hallowblade potentially. So, you know, we may only have one Embercleave in the deck, but we're making the most out of our Relic Axe and our Blademaster. No trample, but it is what it is. You try to get around the defenders with the making them unblockable. So that's it, right? You know, we do have the Fury, which deals the damage. We have the Shelter, which can protect you so you can get through unblocked. It can also protect you from removal, and you can take their creature to hit them with it as well. So that's the general strategy. There's not much to it. I wish I could go more in depth, but it really just revolves around stacking some really, really high value targets. When we're talking about draw hands, you know, I love the Charger for 1-drop. I love the Relic Axe for a 2-drop. I absolutely love the Warleader as our 3-drop. And then ideally, you know, you Embercleave, but you can't always get that. So we go into maybe our Kor Master, right? Potentially a Hallowblade. But these are our core cards that we want to see in our opening hand. Hallowblade's nice as well, potentially. And then maybe Vanguard. But you don't need Vanguard if they're not having Defender. So I don't really like that in my opening hand as much. I'd rather see an Anax or something in there. But at the end of the day, it's a Warriors deck, not an Anax deck. So we shouldn't be focused on that too much. And now this should kind of show you how the deck breaks down without the module-faced lands, and like Anax is just kind of an addition to the deck because it's just organically so strong. But this is our deck. This is our whole shenanigans that we want to play right here. All of this that is on the right side of your screen is extra. Doesn't need to be played. This is where the bread and butter is right here. So play those cards and you should win some games, and you have no doubt that this deck is going to crush it through bronze, silver, gold, and push into platinum. And you know, obviously if we can fine tune it and make a little bit of upgrades, it's going to compete in diamond as well. So if you're looking for upgrades to this deck to take it to the next level, make sure you watch to the end of the video. I'm going to touch on that. We are going to get into today's gameplay footage now, but I have to remind you that you should subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, and you know, if you want to support us financially, you can do so on those platforms, plus Patreon. And a big shout out to all of our financial support thus far. Every Twitch Prime helps, every donation helps, literally every view helps. So share the channel out to your friend, give it a like so it pushes through the algorithm more. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy free-to-play Warriors and you have some pretty good luck with it, completing your quests and enjoying all the new cards that Zendikar has to offer. And again, this is a day 1 list. We're going to continue to upgrade it and expect this deck list to be reappearing in the weeks to come and to continue to get stronger and stronger and tuned in further and further. So again, thank you. Enjoy today's gameplay footage and don't forget to watch to the end for our final thoughts and deck upgrade. Take care. Woof. Keeping 6, tossing the land. Slash Shelter. And I think we just want to push Anax as quickly as possible, so let's get that out of the way, and then we can Hallowblade, and then Anax, and then hopefully just pull Cleave and Bash. Okay, let's see if we can beat one of the old best free-to-play decks, which is probably still one of the best free-to-play decks in my opinion. This is known as Boros Cycling. It's got blue cards in there. It might have black, but maybe not. I don't typically remember them playing blue lands. This could be some sort of janked out version of that. Interesting. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Oh. Get rid of our other Shelter. Actually, sorry, we should have kept the shelter, got rid of our treachery. What am I doing? That's the first misplay of this game. You can do it! Oh, my internet is so good at home. I'm so grateful for it. We're gonna try to get into a new location here soon so this doesn't, you know, become a reoccurring theme of my gameplay. Just continuous lag. Anax in play. Give me a 2-3. We get to hit for a decent amount. 3 damage. Woof. Okay, we get the damage. That's great. We'll play this as a land, I think. I'm not sure we're gonna get to 5. Maybe we will. Maybe I should keep this, and that could be what wins us the game. I feel like it's just spell slingers. Interesting. That's super duper jank. An Arcanist that can add colorless mana for tapping. It's also a good blocker. Okay. Let's push this in tapped. We can attack with everybody. We'll discard if we have to. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Alright, we're having reports that the lag is potentially server-wide. And we forgot to sacrifice the throw to land because I was reading chat. Oh my gosh. You know, you can distract me in chat every day at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard in YouTube, and then at about 7 to 7:30 on Twitch. You know, most of my misplays are generated by chat. They distract me. We would have discarded our planes there for the Hallowblade, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is my fault for not having good enough concentration and focus. LOL. But okay, I actually don't mind that so much. Stormwing is annoying. I mean, taking it for a turn is fine, but just one, like, not enough. You know what I mean? And of course, we pull land after not discarding one. That's so sad. Okay, for 5 down to 10. It's better than not. Maybe we pull a cleave, right? So let's go for it. Just trying to wait out El Servios. Taking control of the entity. You're coming with me. Doesn't really affect the devotion of our Anax, which is a bummer. You know, obviously it would be nice if it pushed that up. Take this creature, man. This one. You gotta really make sure those clicks count. My apologies through this footage. Like, I'm trying my best. Twitch is actually a little laggy as well. So I think we're getting hit with double whammy, where there's both server issues and just my general internet connection is trash. So we're pushing through it though. Our opponent's up to 11 or 20. They've got a lot more in hand than we do. Let me tell you what, we're in a bad situation. Trying to top deck that Embercleave. You know, we've had good luck like that before. Don't know why my deck tracker is not showing up, but that's fine. Getting bashed. Getting thrashed. They've got the blocker in play. Well, it's something. We may as well play the land as well. It allows us to attack through the Arcanist because of the added devotion. Again, I just foresee a chump block here. So this is fine. We still have decent field presence. If we can avoid more borrowers, this is great. More of these Stormwing entities would be not ideal. I think I'd rather that. Well, no, the Scry is really good from that, though. Both the Borrower and the Entity are just amazing cards. Our opponent is here thinking about how they're going to get out of this situation. If we top deck an Embercleave, you know, that's ideal. Hit for 9. Actually, no, it would be lethal because of the devotion to Anax. Oof, that's pretty good too. That is better than a land, that's for sure. I will trade Anax with the Stormwing for Shizzle. The Borrower cannot block. It can only block other creatures with flying. We will get the 2 1/1s is the thing. Plus 4 damage. And we kill the entity. That's not bad. We just need... Okay, and anticipate. That's okay. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Not too shabby. We have lethal. Borrower cannot block. They need to deal with both of these war leaders, which when stacked on top of each other are so good. It's good like the Inspiring Veteran was good for knights, right? A little bit more expensive, but they're a little stronger. A Riddle form, that's okay. Ooh. We've got an Experimental Overload. Create an XX blue and red weird creature token where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you may return an instant sorcery card from your graveyard back. It's a shock. They're tapped though. A land. Lame. We still hit for 6, plus we clear their token. Down to 1. Maybe they'll shock themselves. Ending our turn. I think we've got it at this point. The shock doesn't do enough. What they need to do is hold the shock and play it defensively, so Riddle form triggers and they can block with it. Just my opinion. Right? Because then they could remove a token, pull Riddle form, remove another token, but, you know, it's a little late for that, I think. We're doing all right, though. I mean, as a free-to-play deck on day 1, I think this is behaving fairly nicely. And I know you guys, as the community, are going to come in with so many great suggestions to improve the deck, which is awesome. And then we're going to redo it and get everybody an updated version based on all the feedback that we take in, right? And hopefully, eventually, we can get to a point where we can start winning games within Mythic. So I do think we have lethal still. You know, they've got 2 blockers, plus they remove 1, but that still equals, you know, without 1 damage going through. So, unless this is an unsummon, another shock, we are golden. And then, of course, we are also killing the Riddle form on the block as well. Weird. It could be an unsummon, and they bounce a War Leader. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so we still do just get to kill the Riddle form. No damage done, though. They are holding on. And again, these War Leaders are tough. At 4/4, once they start stacking, they become pretty valuable, I think. We get bashed. And finally, our favorite card. We could just fling our Warleader right up at them. And looks weird. We do have 3 land. It's not the right color. It's all the wrong color. So we're going to mulligan this. This looks better. Let's toss a mountain. Take the scry, or do we toss the scry? Take the 1-drop, 2-drop. Risky. Who is this guy? Let's do our best. Is it a removal? Probably. They're like, shoot, a mono red deck. That's not what I need. How cool is this art for the card too? Like, wow, that's so good. The sleeve here. If we could pull our Warrior Lord next turn, that would be so cool. Two mana available, not good. Interesting. We can discard our mountain if they have some interaction on our Hallowblade. Hitting here for 6. Ooh-wee. Lethal in 2 because we have another relic. Omen's fine. Scry 2, draw a card. Scry means they get to look at the top card of their library. If they like it, they can leave it there, or order it how they wish if it's a multiple scry. And then if they don't, they get the option to put it to the bottom of their library. They did this on our end step with their leftover mana. It's now their first main phase. Playing a Scryland, that's fine. Means it comes in tapped. Again, they're doing that mechanic we just mentioned. Bleed blue blop. Our turn. Very interesting stuff here. Do we spread threat? Because it could be a bounce and we can't protect from a bounce. I'm going to spread threat. That's kind of a general principle we like to follow. Woof. We have our 8 lethal next turn. This will also deal damage equal to its power, which is pretty cool. Which happens to be 3 right now if they kill that. And this is just a little bit of general free-to-play shenanigans if all goes well. Again, I think this is definitely rank viable. Oh, I'm in ranked. I'm supposed to be in the play queue. I don't want to be risking my rank right now. What are we doing? So there you have it. I guess totally viable within Diamond. This is basically a turn 4 win. We had them on turn 5. We were able to protect ourselves. I don't mind the land, but we get to go first. That helps us so much. And look at this turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. This is neat. Fabled Passage playing slow. That is also to our advantage. More land though, that's not really what we want. Goma Fada is pretty cool. Whenever Goma Fada Vanguard attacks, each creature, or sorry, target creature an opponent controls can't block. Which is cool, with power equal or less than, sorry, just less than, no, equal or less than, to the number of warriors you control this turn or as it resolves. And then they can't block this turn, which is nice. Alrighty, let's go. Dimir Rogues, we get it. TikTok. Let's go with our Warleader. They have to just counter it normally. Hopefully they don't have it. And now what they have to play with Flash can't block us either. They just act it. Okay, sure. Bummer, but we still hit for 3. Not quite as cool. Our hand is looking very lackluster, so we need to pull something good. We have the ability to drop protection. We could kill it, but is it worth it? Like, we just lose so much value. Keep it alive, I guess. I don't know. Not looking good. Right? This is a clutch removal. I'll take an Embercleave. I'll be honest. I'm not a proud man. 2 land off the top. I guess that's good. Getting blasted. 1 tapped land. We can make the Wind Robber not be able to block. We have the cleave. Let's see if there's blockers. I'm surprised there wasn't. 7 damage, not so bad. We've got them low, and we might have to close the game out with this Fury. We have 1 damage through our Charger. Petty thefts, you know, down in the locks, stuff like this is pretty annoying for us. Alright, we lose another Charger. We're down to 10. Gross. Vanguard off the top. Something with a Warleader would be really nice. Another Fury. That's weird. Is this just lethal here? There must be a petty theft, right? Wish I could choose after they flash something in. Right? So, worst case scenario, petty theft. Heartless Axe. We're at 10, getting hit for 6, 7, 8. If they have a rogue to flash in, we'll lose. We're dealing 3, take them down to 4. I don't know, let's just go for it. Oof. Not good. We get so close. If we lose this match, it'll be sad. But again, this is a free-to-play deck. Embercleave comes in the starting decks. You get one copy of it. That's all we have here. And we're shutting down some of these better decks, which is... it's great. I don't think, again, that this is, you know, as strong as Mutate or Cycle for free-to-play, but it's viable. This is a very tough deck for having, you know, 0 rares and 0 mythics that you don't already have just by, you know, playing the game. The opening matches, whatever they are. They go in even further. So we need a land, is the thing, off the top. Oh, we get it, but it's tapped because we want to do jazz, but we can't. I think they just beat us, don't they? Right? They got counter magic available potentially, and they can easily block all that damage. And we don't have enough mana to Fury plus that. It is what it is, but let's close the game out. There could also be a petty theft here as well. And I think we probably didn't play this last turn when we should have, and then we would have had enough land. But I guess it already has double strike, so that's not really a thing even. They just have to double block here. We kill the Enforcer, but again, it doesn't matter, like, at all. It's just good game. Well, we get close. We're getting close. We deal 2 damage, right? We get so close. So close. Oh no, we had lethal there. We 100% had lethal there. What am I thinking? That's on me, you guys. We should have used our Fury. I forgot that... Oh, no, never mind. We couldn't have because we had to equip the Embercleave. It was close. I was thinking that we misplayed there, but we didn't. It's just close. And again, not a great win rate, but it's doing its thing. Alright, let's just roll with it. Admittedly, we're in non-ranked today. At first glance, the free-to-play scene doesn't seem super, super hot in Zendikar. Now, I know that's sad, but this is day 1. I've not poured that deeply into it, obviously. With a 2 video a day schedule, it's hard to really go above and beyond. But this is free-to-play Warriors, and it should be good as long as our connection can hold. There we go. Again, things have been a little weird, and when we combine this with my high-level luxury internet, that's kind of what we run into. How about this new scene, though? And I guess this is like the 017 turtle or Leviathan that we're on the back of, which is pretty cool. No blocks, it has flying. We're milling. 1 land off the top, not the worst. We are looking out for the 1/3 blocker. Could also be a counter spell, but we're going to probably just play our Relic Axe. Typically, artifacts and equipment are... Oof. That's just straight up counterspell. Let's come and tapped, take our 3. Warleader next turn with our Treachery as a land. Whoops, sorry about that. Get that out of the way. Another land, so that's 3. Drowning the Lock's gonna be annoying. This is gonna get countered for sure, but at least then our Seasoned Hallowblade can attack. Really? Interesting. Big hit. They bounce it. Petty Theft. I mean, it's not a great card. Ending our turn. Our opponent's down to 13. Interesting. What if Anax was a warrior? That would be cool. He looks like a warrior. That's for certain. Alright, we're just trying to pass through priority. Servers are a little weird. Resolving this. The draw engine does chip damage as well. Nothing good. Ending our turn. Our opponents go. They're just gonna let us go again, holding up what I assume would be flash counters. Oof. Let's try to pull out their mana before we attack, so we're not worrying about flash blockers. Again, this is just absolutely brutal internet connection on my behalf, I'm pretty sure. I also doubt that they block the Wisp with the Warleader. I'm pretty sure we just have 7 here, or the Wind Robber will block us. Yeah, it's the Borrower. That makes sense. We can discard to give Indestructible. We could have tossed Anax, but I think I want to throw Anax on top of Anax for a bunch of tokens. Is there a bounce after we discard? No. The draw engine of the Wisp is very, very good. This is going to be hard to win. But again, you know, we are free to play, and this is not. Let's highlight our hand like we've got something to do. No. They have full mana. We're basically donezo. Right? Our only chance is if they've got a hand of land. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, yeah, nice. Alright, they're taking from our graveyard here, aren't they? Taking our Warleader, I assume. Well, that's fun. We can go wide, maybe. Let's still smash. Anax will trade with the Warleader. Down to 10. Single token. Satyrs should also be warriors. Just saying. Right? We can take the damage here, whatever. I don't think they're gonna do 9 chip damage. Oh, that's I should have blocked that. I was thinking that was a different card. For some reason, the Slitherwisp threw me for a whirl there. Hashtag dyslexia. If you've been on the channel, you know that's a common theme here. Doing the opposite. Let's get an Embercleave off the top. You can't block, is the thing. And we hit for lethal. Right? They don't want to block with the Slitherwisp. So let's juke Anax. They have another petty... Okay, drown on the lock. Shoot. So, there goes our lethal. We're down to 9 too, which is not good and totally tapped. You jerk! Yeah, and they're bouncing us. And they can block for the kill. Good game. So that's some very nice instant speed disruption by our opponent. I think we held up fairly well, in all honesty, against what we're facing. Getting hit for lethal here. GG's. We get close though. Not too far off, that's for sure. Alright, free-to-play Warriors actually didn't disappoint me. You know, I was like, I gotta make a free-to-play deck for the boys. This looks like it could be good, maybe abusable. It doesn't require too much thought, so it should be good for beginners to play with. But it did good. It, like, is not that bad. It's generally a good deck. No, I don't think it's as strong as Mutate. I don't think it's as strong as Boros Cycling. It doesn't have that instant kill capability. But this is generally strong, and there is good synergy here. The Charger, the Relic Axe, the Warleader go together just so well. You toss in Double Strike with the Blademaster. I don't mind it. You know, you put more Embercleaves in this deck, and you have a decent deck. Talking about deck upgrades, I've got more than just Embercleave for you. Check it out. We got a full list of deck upgrades. We're talking about adding more Temple of Triumphs. We're talking about adding Castle Embereth to the deck, Emira's Call to the deck, more Embercleaves, which we already mentioned, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. You know, this is super synergy with the deck. That is a must include as far as I'm concerned. Fearless Voyager, also an amazing card to put in the deck. Like, just so good with what we already have. The Scatter Skull Charger, amazing. Trample Haste. You can equip it and give it double strike. I can't even begin to talk about how good this is to put in the deck. And then the Kargan Intimidator, again, an amazing card to put in the deck. So there are so many good Boros Warriors that you can begin to use this free-to-play deck with Farm Your Quest and upgrade it into what I suspect is going to be a tier 2 deck, if not tier 1, if we can figure out the tournament situation with protecting against the wipes consistently and the sideboard, all that jazz, right? So thank you for your time and attention. Let me know what you thought of the deck, the sideboard guide, the gameplay that we had, all of my wonderful misplays, I'm sure. Really appreciate your time and attention. We do have 350,000 gems to give away. Don't miss out on that. Last month we gave about 120. 1,000 gems away. I gotta say it, you guys, that's the only way I can get you in the community. Don't forget to like these videos, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, follow us on YouTube and Twitch so you don't miss out on any of our live streams. And please, if you feel like you've been enjoying this content or learning a little bit with your time here, consider supporting the channel. It helps. It only just gets funneled right back into all of this, doing this full-time, 12 hours plus a day, 200, I shouldn't say 200, it's like 400, 500, almost 2 years. It's gonna be 2 years in April. April 24th will be 2 years without a single break. Rip my life, right? I have no more friends. But we are building the business, and that's what it's about. So thank you so much for your time and attention. I appreciate it. You guys are all amazing. Go have yourselves a magical day. Make sure to check out some other Magic the Gathering Arena content on my channel and do all of this stuff there as well. Take care, and we'll see you soon.